To run ads or not to run ads? That is the question. In today's video, I'm gonna answer the question of should you run ads for your agency? When? How much should you spend? How do you do it? The whole thing. Let's go.
Back on deck on my fly back. Really on my pay some respect to my mindset. Head blowing smoke, catch a contact. Really mad they can't stop us. Back on the scene, young conscious. Always been me, young poppin'. I ain't really here for the gossip, nah.
All right, what is up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. If you don't know who I am and you're just watching this video and you're just seeing me for the first time, my name is Sebastian Robeck, and in short, I dropped out of college in 2016, worked in sales for about a year, started my agency and quit my job at the end of 2017 and ended up scaling my business to, well, there's a whole lot that happened in between, but ended up scaling my business to over 7 figures in 2019. And at this point, depending on when you're watching this, we are on pace for multiple 7 figures. And with that out of the way, if you're new to the channel here, hit the like button below, and more importantly, hit the subscribe button and turn on post notifications so that you don't miss out on all the new content and trainings, because you want to be notified of when I put out valuable videos like this. So if you do, turn on post notifications down below. With all the antics and intros out of the way, let's go. So I get this question asked probably at least a few times a day, honestly, in my DMs and Facebook messages. Hey man, here's where my agency is at. Should I run ads? When should I do it? How do I do it? How much should I be spending? Should I use a funnel? Should I just send people to a call booking page, right? Like, do I need a salesperson? All these questions. So I want to clear the air on this whole, topic of running ads to grow your agency and get inbound clients. So let me preface this, guys, by saying business is all about sequence. Business is all about doing things in the right sequence, in the right order, and at the right time. So for example, right, if you are just starting out your business and you want to bring on a salesperson, and you're like, you know what, I don't want to do sales. I just want to build a sales team. Let me break down why that's a massive problem, and that belief can potentially kill your business and how this is gonna relate to running ads. So if you want to build a sales team, having never sold before, the thing is, guys, it's like if you've never done something, but yet you wanna teach other people to do it, it doesn't really work, right? So you bring on a salesperson, and I've seen this happen many, many times with agencies that have 1 or 2 clients, and they're like, I wanna build a sales team, I don't wanna take sales calls anymore the rest of my life. They bring on a salesperson, then what happens is, the salesperson hits a slump. The salesperson needs training. They need to get better. Salespeople don't just come on board and they're perfect and you don't have to do anything. Salespeople need management. Salespeople need oversight. Salespeople need support. They need help. They need guidance. See where I'm going? Boom, boom, boom. All these different things. Salespeople need to do role plays so that they can get better. Skill development. Salespeople need their calls reviewed. How do I know this? We run a sales team. We have a sales team of over 6 people. Now that might not sound like a lot, right? When there's sales teams out there with 20, 30, 50 people, but managing people is quite the task. And 5 or 6 salespeople there's a bit that goes on to manage that sales team. So we know what we're talking about, guys. We have closers as well as appointment setters here for both of our businesses, for Agency Hypergrowth and our agency. So again, we know what we're talking about. And if you go on and try to bring a closer, build a sales team, without having ever sold and knowing what it takes to be a closer, you're kind of screwed. Now, same thing with running ads. It's the same concept, right? So if you go out there and you have 1 client, 2 clients, right? You haven't really been running your agency very long. You haven't had enough time to prove your agency and honestly to fail. You haven't had enough time to lose clients so that you can build better systems. You haven't had enough time to really get told no enough times so that you can get better at sales. But then you go and try to run ads. Here are some of the issues that can come up and I've seen come up. Number 1, ads cost money. In case you didn't know, you need a budget for ads. And if you're still in the ground floor phases, you're just starting out, you don't have much cash on hand. Cash on hand is one of the most important metrics. Honestly, for a lot of people, it is the most important metric, the most important thing in your business, having cash in the business bank account. And the last thing you want to do is go and risk blowing it on something that you don't really know what you're doing with, and you also are very, very unclear on how you're gonna see your return. So again, ads cost money. You need at least $500 to $1,000 easy as an ad budget, bare minimum. That's like bare minimum for testing, and essentially you have to be prepared to not see that $1,000 ever again. You have to be in a place where if that $1,000 never comes back, you are okay and basically nothing's gonna change for you. Number 2, when you run ads, right, you have to know how to advertise, which means you have to know how to write copy. You have to know how to create video ads that sell. You have to know how to target. You have to know how to craft an offer. How are you going to compel a business owner that sees your ad on Facebook to actually book a call with you? These things all come into play. Running ads isn't just as simple as putting a post on Facebook and saying, I do ads for businesses, book a call down below, and then running that as an ad. Like, it doesn't just work that way. I know, because we've tried it. And we've run ads for our agency and we know what works and what doesn't. This is why I'm making this video for you guys, because we've been there and done it, and we still do it. So there's that. Next up, sales. This is a huge one, guys. If you do manage to get your ads to work, right, and all of a sudden you've got calls coming in, which means you've got people to sell. And again, these are people that haven't really seen you before. They don't really know you. So how are you going to take someone who's never seen you before outside of one ad, so they've had one interaction with you online, one impression? How do you take someone from being there, super, super cold, to warm, to hot, to giving you their credit card and saying, I'm ready to pay you money, real money, substantial money? How do you do that? If you don't know the answer to that, and if you haven't done it, then running ads is only going to amplify that problem. It's only going to shine a massive spotlight on that problem. So you might have heard the saying before, money only really amplifies what you already are, right? Like, if you're already arrogant and you make a shit ton of money, if you go from being broke and you make a shit ton of money, you're only gonna be more arrogant. If you are really selfish, when you make a lot of money, that's only gonna expand. You're only gonna become more selfish and just show more of it. Typically, that's true. Typically, that is the case. And it's the same thing here with running ads, guys. If your sales sucks, quite frankly, and if you don't really know what you're doing on how to close clients consistently, you don't have a sales process that you feel like you can rely on, if you get nervous on the phone, if you get hit with objections, you don't know what to do, all these things, running ads is only gonna shine a spotlight on that problem. And then what could potentially happen is you just get even more discouraged. You're like, oh my God, I really suck at sales. I'm just gonna throw in the towel. F this. I've seen it happen many times, guys, many, many times. It even has happened with clients of ours, and we've had to pull them out of that, which is what we do. These are just multiple things to take into consideration. It's not as simple, right? Running ads is not as simple as, I'm gonna turn on an ad, so many leads coming in, so many calls, I close a shit ton of clients, oh my God, my agency grows like hotcakes, and I just go sit on a beach in Aruba and that's it. That's not reality. Running ads is amazing. Guys, we've scaled our businesses on ads. We love paid advertising, but there is an art and a science to it, and you have to know what you're doing, especially for agency work. So now on the flip side, let's talk about when you should start running ads and kind of what some of that should look like. I'm not gonna get super into the nitty gritty and the technical here of how to set up ad campaigns. Quite frankly, that's stuff that we teach our private clients inside Agency Hypergrowth. So I'm not just gonna give that away for free, but I will give you guys some valuable insights here. Number one, when should you start running ads? Typically, you wanna be at least 10 to 15K a month, like bare minimum. Because again, the reason why is you've had time to mess up, you've had time to get clients and lose them, you've had time to work out your fulfillment systems, you've had time to get better at sales, quite frankly. That's why we teach a lot of our clients in Agency Hypergrowth, most of them, to go out and get clients organically without running ads. Then when we've proven their systems, proven their fulfillment, gotten client results, gotten case studies, things to show to cold traffic, then we go out and show them how to run ads, bring it to the bigger market. But again, you want to wait till you're at least 10 to 15K a month, bare minimum. Number two, you definitely want to wait until you have a proven sales process, guys. Again, like, this kind of goes back to point number one. You have to have gotten on enough calls. You have to have gotten told no enough times. You have to have role played and have built your sales skills and your skill development in that area, so that, again, when it comes time to run ads, you're ready. Like, think of it as almost like you're preparing for battle in a way. You're like, okay, I know there's this thing I'm gonna go out and conquer, not right this moment, not today, not tomorrow, not next week, but when it does come and when the time comes, I am ready for it, and that's what you wanna focus on. Let's get into some technical stuff, right? Like, what should you run ads to? How much should you spend? A lot of people are like, how much should I spend on ads if you're ready to run ads for your agency? And budget really depends, guys. It really depends on like how much cash on hand you have. So for example, if you're doing 20K a month and you've got 20, 30K, 40K in the business bank account, right? Then you can probably afford to spend, depending on what your profit and expenses look like, you can probably afford to spend $40 to $50 a day, which is like $1,500 a month on ads, which isn't very much, to be honest. Here with our businesses, we spend over 50, 60K a month on ads profitably, and we usually see at a minimum of 4 to 5x ROI on cold traffic. But that is a really good starting point if you're in a place like that. And honestly, if you're doing 20, 30K a month, you could probably afford to spend a bit more, 2, 3K. And if you really want to push it, you could spend 4 or 5, again, depending on your profit and expenses and where you're at with that. If you're in a place where you're at like 10K a month, right? And business cash on hand is probably at like 10, 15K, if that. Probably looking at like 30 bucks a day, $1,000 on ads is probably, and again, guys, these are super, super rough estimates. Like this is just like ballparking based on what might be your situation, right? Most of you guys that are watching this are not in a place to run ads, but for those of you that are, or even if you kind of just want to get an idea of what it could look like when it does come time for you to run ads, this is why I'm giving you guys this info. Next up, what should you run ads to? Do I run ads to a funnel? Do I build a webinar? Do I build a VSL? Do I run lead ads on Facebook? So here's the thing, guys. We are constantly testing new things, and at the time of recording this, we are actually, we just got done building a VSL for our agency that we are gonna test running ads to. Up to this point, we've been running ads mostly on Facebook and doing lead ads, where people stay on Facebook, we don't take them to another page or a funnel, and they just fill out a lead form. And typically what we've seen is full-blown applications, like long form, really in-depth questions, people that are existing business owners, they've been doing it for a while, they've got significant revenue already in their business, they're filling out these long form applications with their contact info, they're booking a call, etc., for around $80 to $90. So if you do the math, just to tickle your guys' fancy, I'll do some with you here. For even numbers, let's call it $100 per booked call. So for, let's say you book 10 calls, let's say 60% of them show up, you've got a 40% no-show rate, so 6 of them show up. Let's say you disqualify 3 of them, right? And you make offers to the other 3, and let's say you close 1 to 2 of them. Let's call it 1, just to be super conservative and hedge our numbers a bit. So that means out of 10 calls, you ended up closing 1 client, so you paid $1,000 for them, which is honestly quite high to only close 1 client, but this is just conservative example numbers. But if you're charging, say, 2K a month and you get them on a 3-month retainer, 3-month contract, that's 6K from 1K. That's crazy. That's why ads are a beautiful thing when it's the right time for you. Let's say you don't even up your rates, you literally just extend your contract to 6 months. You just signed a 12K deal. That's $12,000 in like booked revenue that you can essentially guarantee off of $1,000 and spend. And these are some of the numbers that we help our clients in Agency Hypergrowth and our higher tier program, which is called Elite, which is a step up after Agency Hypergrowth. This is what we help them do when it's the right time for them to start running ads, building teams, bringing on people to help them, hires, etc., etc. So, guys, bit of a mouthful here on this video. I don't even really want to do a recap because there's so much. If you like, I'm gonna leave timestamps here down below, and I would just say go back and watch different pieces of the video. I hope this was helpful, guys. We got a little bit more into some technical stuff, to some real in-depth stuff here today, and I wanted to hopefully for you clear the air on the whole question of just running ads for your agency, when it's the right time, should you, how do you do it, etc., etc. Again, if you found this video helpful, click the like button down below, but most importantly, hit the subscribe button and turn on post notifications so that you do not miss out on all the new content and trainings just like this one. If you want to continue seeing content just like this, again, hit that notification bell. Couple links in the description. As always, link to our free Facebook group with over 9,000 individual agency owners just like yourself looking for aggressive growth. I'm also going to leave a link down below if you are interested in agency hypergrowth. You want to know more of what it looks like to work with us and partner with us here. I'm going to leave a link to book a completely free strategy call with somebody from our team. We're going to break down exactly what our program looks like, how you can get started, see if it's the right fit for you, etc. Not really like a sales call. We don't really just push things on people if it doesn't make sense. Like, we genuinely turn down probably like 50-60% of people that get on the phone with us, just because that's the sales style we teach, which means that's what we do. And of course, I'm gonna leave some links to more trainings here on the channel to help you guys out, completely free, prospecting, sales trainings, client fulfillment, all that stuff. With that said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Back on